Let's see. Saludos, mi gente. En vivo. Alright, let's see. No. Hey, good morning, Arctic. What's up?
Morning, Arctic.
Hey, you guys still down for? Are you guys still down to do the XO live through here? I think it's on a Saturday. Like how we did with Game Awards last year. That was fun.
What time? What day?
I have no idea what time. I think it's 3 or 4 p.m. Central. I have to look. I'm not sure. I gotta double check. But I think that'll be cool. Let's see.
Did we get a mic check from Paris?
Hello.
Hola. Hola, Paris. ¿Cómo estás? We're doing a whole Spanish podcast today.
If we're good to go, we can go whenever we want.
Yeah, I'm doing some real quick here. Yeah, I'm trying to share this. Give me 1 second and we'll begin here. Oh, thanks to P Rock, man. Thanks for the sub, man. You're so cool.
Supporting the show.
You're so cool, man.
Okay,
So
good.
nice.
All right. Says we're good audio wise, so
We're good? All right.
yeah.
Awesome. All right. Why is
Whenever.
not coming up? Give me 1 second, guys. I don't know why it's not. Whatever. All right. Here goes. Welcome to episode 805 here at Gamertag Radio. This is Danny, and also joining us this week, we're going to start with the spoiler king, Pete. What's going on, Pete?
Man. Paris starting all that smoke on Twitter last night, knowing I ain't even say nothing.
How's everything,
But good
man?
morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone.
All right. And also joining us is the famous guy, Paris. What's going on, Paris?
What am I famous for?
I don't know. He's just always vocal on Twitter, man. That's
It doesn't mean I'm famous. It just means I'm vocal.
You just got that. You got that verified blue check mark. That's why.
Yeah, that's true. We don't have that blue check.
I'm gonna say it on the podcast. You guys need to stop with that blue check mark stuff. It's annoying. And I'm gonna say, Pete, you do spoil things because I didn't need to know what you said in the chat. How about that? I didn't need to know it. You could have just kept your mouth shut. So
all I said was an episode number was amazing. That's it. I didn't even say nothing else.
I don't need to know that because now when I get to the episode, it needs to live up to this false hype that you put on it now.
You know what? I'm gonna grab receipts from previous chats and I'm throwing back out just so you can see. Come with that energy, but make sure you receive that same energy. All right?
I never say anything because I don't spoil things like you do.
All right. We shall see. The receipts gonna come out. We're gonna be all right.
Screenshots.
Oh yes, receipts.
Yeah. All right, so head over to Gamertag Radio. You can listen to our past episodes. Also, you can find us on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, also Radio Public, and other podcast directories. All right, so this episode, we're going to have only fan mail questions. We have emails, Discord questions, voicemail. It's going to be a great episode, man. So keep it up. Send us more questions, and we're going to read it or play on a future episode of Gamertag Radio. All right, so it's time for fan mail. All right, so we have the first question here. This is from Christian. Shout out to him. He says, "Hello, Gamertag. My name is Chris from Orlando. If you already covered this already, my bad. But the article I just read was posted an hour ago. This is about 007 getting Unreal Engine remake and so on. So he said, what are your thoughts on potentially being able to play GoldenEye in the way that's this closer to memory instead of what it actually is graphic wise? Also, if it's successful, your interest on other projects of the same nature. Thanks for your time." What are your thoughts about this, guys? If they, somebody gets like an old game from back in the days and have it, with better graphics now in 2018, do you think you will play it, or you rather play the old way, or what? What do you guys think about that? Okay, anyone? Anyone's gonna answer the question?
I don't know. I think games made back then had a certain way about them, right? And because of that, I think if they were like some super hyper realistic from a graphics perspective or something like that, I think it would have changed my perspective on the game, right? Like you take a game, let's go as simple as, I don't know, Grand Theft Auto 2 or 3, right? Let's say 2, top down, everything looks, grainy, doesn't look hyper realistic like GTA 5, etc. I think if you have a game that looks or plays like that, it wouldn't have set the trend for other things going forward, or it would have changed your perspective on how you play the game. Might have been a good thing, might have been a bad thing, might have changed or broken boundaries. But I think, and maybe GTA 2 was a bad example, but if you have a game that you play and it imparts a certain perspective or a certain feeling upon you, and then you come back 15, 20 years later and they hyper realize everything, kind of, I guess maybe like, I don't know, it's hard to describe, and that's just my personal take on it. It's really, it's for me, it's somewhat difficult to try to say, okay, I would have felt a different way about it. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. To me, sometimes it's hard for, I don't know, it's like, I'm happy that they're bringing back like an old game and it looks better and everything, but it's not the same as how it used to be from back then. Like, I don't know. I prefer to maybe have it in a way that it's easier to connect it to your TV. It looks a little bit better, 1080p and all that, whatever, if it's possible. But keep the graphics the same, man. I think they should do it like that instead of making it all nice and beautiful. And I don't know. I prefer, in my opinion, to play the old graphics. That's it. What about you, Paris? You prefer the old one or the new one with better graphics?
It's honestly, it's a case by case basis, because some games can absolutely benefit from the modern upgrade to it, and it could actually enhance your gaming experience. And others, let's just take this as an example. Super Mario Brothers, the original one from 1985. Why am I upgrading that? What benefit are you going to get from that? There's no need to change anything. I'll take even another one. So just like you're saying, GoldenEye as an example. If we were to update GoldenEye to modern FPS standards, to be honest, that takes away the appeal of what made that game so special, I don't know, 20 years ago, whenever it came out. You know what I mean? So yeah, it really depends. But then I'll take this. Red Dead Redemption. There's the Xbox One X enhanced version of that you can play right now. That game benefits from that because it was on the fringe of where graphics are today when it came out. So you've actually just given it that boost to push it to where we are now. You know what I'm saying? So in that sense, I can see pluses and minuses to doing it. I'll take one final example. Megaman 11, which just came out.
Mm-hmm.
It has that 8-bit feel to it, but they put modern touches on it at the same time. So I still have that nostalgia of when I played the original Mega Man or Mega Man 2 back in the 80s, but I can also feel like, oh, this is a modern game that I'm playing right now. Something, I don't know, similar to like Shovel Knight or something like that. You know what I mean? So it goes both ways. It really does. I think just speaking on that, Nintendo, now that, you know, they have their online service and they're bringing back some of their old games, we're going to start seeing little examples of that. I mean, and correct me if I'm wrong, like Mario Brothers 3, they've not touched at all on the online service. I've not personally played it, so I'm going by what I've read. But then like Zelda, they've added little touches to it, you know, that doesn't break the original feel of the game, but it makes it a more appealing for a modern audience. So there you go.
And also they added online, you know, but it still looks the same and feels the same. So I'm down with that too. So yeah, I agree with that, man. All right, but thanks for the email, man. All right, so here is another one. This is from Zach. Hey, my name is Zach. I live in Portland, Oregon. So with Red Dead coming out soon and the hype is very real, where does it put the other games coming out soon, like Fallout 76 and The Division coming out next year, and Anthem sometime? Are people going to have to juggle games, or do you think that people are going to have to choose? Hopefully you guys get back and talk about it. Love the show. Thanks,
choose.
Zach.
You got to choose. I mean, we've talked about this a lot the past few weeks. Just go down the murderer's row of games that are already out since September and are continue to come out. Let's just say it culminates with The Division 2 in the middle of March. There are a ton of amazing games. So it really comes down to your preference. But here's one thing that is not humanly possible unless you're filthy rich and you're a hermit and you just sit in your room all day and don't do anything. You can't play all these games. So no matter what, you're going to have to choose what you want to play. I know I'm personally struggling with that right now. And I'm sure everyone listening to this or watching this on Twitch is probably suffering the same thing. Because let's say every game that's come out so far, I just stopped playing. I'm done. Starting tomorrow, Thronebreaker comes out. Okay. Red Dead comes out at the end of the week. Fallout 76 comes out after that. Battlefield 5's coming out. Smash Brothers is coming out. Then flip into, and I'm just doing this off the top of my head, then flip into the early next year, Kingdom Hearts 3. Then you get to the murderer's row of February where you got Metro coming out. You got Crackdown 3 coming out. Days Gone said, we're out. We pushed out to April, so they're not coming out. And then you got, what am I missing? What's the other? Oh, Anthem on February 22nd is coming out. Then The Division 2 is coming out. And then, like I said, Days Gone is coming out in April. So choose. There you go. Just on that. And that's not even including anything that's already come out so far.
Yeah. It's going to get tougher and tougher, man. So, yeah. Pete, what about you, man?
I think Paris said it perfectly. It's damn near impossible, right? Like you said, you either have to be unemployed or full-time streamer. I think full-time streamer is probably the only profession that puts you perfectly suited to try and even attempt to play all of these AAA games. And like Paris said, he didn't even include Starlink, which just came out last week. He didn't include Spider-Man, which for me is probably my favorite game of 2018. How do you do it? You have Black Ops that just came out. You know, they're going to be releasing DLCs or they're going to be releasing additional content. It's damn near impossible. There's a couple of games you did. I think Darksiders 3 or something like that. How do you budget time when you are a full-time employee, father, husband, etc.? How do you budget your time to be able to spend quality time and balance that work-life schedule and put in the 100 to 200 hours it's going to be required to play some of these games, specifically like Fallout 76 or Red Dead Redemption 2, they've already stated that there's upwards of 100 hours of gameplay there. And we'll go one step further, Red Dead Redemption. We haven't even touched the online component. You know,
and that's coming out later too.
exactly.
You know?
So there's just so many options at this point. You might be better off going to random.org, plugging all of the games in there, hitting go, and just saying whatever comes up with is what you're going to play for the next 2-3 months, and hope that that's enough time for you to finish those.
And here's the tough part too, man. Because I know a lot of the gamers will wait until like Black Friday to see if there's any specials, but it's not even guaranteed that a lot of those games that came out during this time, they're gonna have like a special. It's not even guaranteed. Sometimes it will be like the same price, or you might have like some specials only for like a day or for like the Black Friday weekend. But it's risky because you never know. Because I know like games like NBA 2K. There's always it always goes down in price, but let's say Nintendo, they would never put the prices down of their first party games because they know it's going to sell like crazy. You know, do you think Rockstar is going to do the same thing with Red Dead during Black Friday? I don't think so, man. I really don't think so. Maybe next year, but this year, nah, I don't see that at all. At all. All right, here's another question.
I don't think there has been first party. I don't think there's been first party games or like just launched games that have an instant discount like that.
I think I seen that with like a Forza game, maybe a Gears of War or Halo.
Okay,
but
so
that's about
I
it.
can understand, and maybe I used the party reference wrong. I can understand maybe Xbox saying, okay, I want to do that for something like this, but not somebody like Ubisoft with a just launched title, or like Red Dead Redemption saying, okay, Red Dead Redemption 2 is on sale, we're gonna drop it $20. I wouldn't see them do it. I would see more of a platform / first party such as Xbox or Sony doing that in order to entice buyers to purchase maybe bundles or things of that nature. But I wouldn't see third parties doing it, especially for a title that just dropped.
Well, I've seen it with past Assassin's Creed games. Now, what are the chances of a game like Starlink to go down in price during Black Friday, only for the weekend, just for people to buy the game?
Because that game has already been out for a month plus. Yes, I can see that.
Hasn't been a... Oh, okay, well, you
said during Black Friday, so yes, by the time Black Friday it comes out, it has been 5 weeks since it's launched. So in that respect, I could see them doing it in order to bolster sales from a bundle perspective, or to like I said, encourage buyers to purchase more starships, more guns, and maybe a starter pack for your niece or nephew or something like that. But as far as seeing, Red Dead Redemption 2 go on sale, Battlefield 5 go on sale for less, I don't think you're going to see that.
I personally think that we might see like a very like a special if you want to buy the first Division game during Black Friday, just so people could buy that game and get hyped for the next game that's coming out next year. I could also see that. I can see that happening too. So, all right. So here's another question. This kind of relates to the question we just answered right now. Hi, fellas. My name is Trevor. I'm from New York. I want to say that I recently purchased a Nintendo Switch along with Megaman 11. Great choice, by the way. With this purchase, I now have the Xbox One X, PlayStation 4, and Switch. My question to you guys is, how do you guys find balance or find time to play games you love while maintaining family and work schedule? Thanks a million. Well, Trevor, thanks, man. You guys want to answer this one or what?
Why don't you answer it? Why do you always defer?
I just read the question.
Answer the question. And answer it.
No, I mean, to me, I've been pretty good with that. Like, I have time for myself. I have time for spend time with my fiance, my family. And also, I have time to also play games, man. I think we shouldn't be playing games 24/7, man. There's so much things you could do in life, man. Just go out and enjoy it, man. But I always been good with that, man. I have a schedule on when I have to like edit the show, promote the show. I have a schedule if I need to stream or play a game. But I also have a schedule like, hey, I just want to watch TV, just want to go out, hang out with my friends and family. And that's what I've been doing lately, man. I never had problems with that, man, at all, man. I think that if you're just doing one thing all the time and that's it, it's unhealthy. To me, it's personally, it's not healthy, man. You know, so that's my opinion. So, you guys?
Well, for me, it is always the classic struggle because not only do I commute, so I get this is why we do this podcast super early because I'm always used to being up super early. Have to work the 9 to 5, and then I have to come home. I have 3 kids that they all have their own specific needs. I have a wife, you know, with the list of things for me to usually do. So it typically is I get it in when I can. And usually I'm sacrificing hours of sleep to do so. So that's why I'm actually very picky when I do play a game because I'm not going to waste time. And when this is why I've still not played Spider-Man to this point, because when I know there's a game that I want to just invest in fully, I don't want to just pick it up and pick it down and play other things. That's what I'm going to play. So when the time is right, which it will be soon here, I'm just going to play Spider-Man. I'm going to play to completion with the time that allows me to play it. Then I'm going to move on to the next thing, rinse and repeat, et cetera, et cetera. So, I mean, like I said, it's a struggle. It is. It'll always be a struggle. But the one thing I've learned, like, throw the gym in and all that stuff too. When you are passionate about something, you will find the time, period. So obviously I'm passionate about my family. So family comes first, always will. I'm passionate about going to the gym. So I find time to do that. And then gaming's probably next up on that list. I find time to do that as well. So it all just goes hand in hand. You figure it out. Let's just put it that way.
It's probably the best way to put it. I think scheduling your life, putting some form of rigor towards it makes it a little bit easier to handle. I'm blessed to be able to work from home, so I have a little bit more free time, quote unquote, and hopefully my boss isn't watching this. And some liberties with my personal time that allows me to go ahead and do things like that, right? So like if I'm in between conference calls or whatever, and I can sneak 10, 15 minutes into a game or whatever, I've done it, right? I'm not
like Rocksmith.
I've done it.
Right?
I've done it. Hey, if I'm on my lunch break, you can't tell me what I could do during my lunch break. I just happen to be, I'm lucky enough, I'm blessed to be at home during those times. So yeah, I'll pick up my guitar and I'll play Rocksmith and I'll play 4 or 5 songs, put it away, gotten the itch out of my system, and I can come back to work and I can focus and do my job. But outside of that, yes, like when it comes time for dinner, hey, everything goes off. I'm in the kitchen helping the wife, and then we're all sitting at the dinner table eating dinner, right? There's no, there might be an occasional phone that comes out, or if I'm in the middle of something for work, yeah. But for us, at least, when we're out at the dinner table, it's dinner time. It's everybody's there, and we all sit there and we all, spend quality time with each other, talking about each other's day, how, et cetera. And then other than that, because I think because we're in 2018, and especially in this household, everybody here has or plays video games, right? My wife, obviously, this. My kids, my son's already awake and he's already playing League of Legends, or he's following the championships now. We all have our preferences. So yeah, there's times where all of us, we might be in separate rooms doing our things, but it's very important that you spend those together moments together. Like me and the wife, we spent almost all day yesterday on the couch watching Daredevil, and that was our quality bonding time for the day yesterday. Actually, probably for the week. And yeah, that's about it. I mean, it's just making time. It's making sure you set specific set of time out for your family and your loved ones, but as well as yourself.
Agreed, man. All right, so I know we have more emails and more voicemails. Should we just play the first voicemail? We haven't played one yet.
We can definitely go to voicemail.
All right, let's go. Voicemails it is.
All right, here we go.
Hello, this is Brad from Buffalo, aka BGamer90. I want to call in about the discussion Danny and Paris had about next-gen consoles. If the PS5 does not have backwards compatibility, I think both of you guys are right, but in certain ways. If the PS5 doesn't have backwards compatibility, then I think the next-gen Xbox console would do much better in North America, but the PS5 would still do pretty decent worldwide. Paris, with the PS3 generation, the PS3 had really bad PR, and it was obviously more expensive than the 360, but the PS3 still did better in territories outside of North America, which eventually caused the PS3 to be pretty much a match with overall Xbox 360 sales when the generation ended back in 2013. Now, also, I had a question for you guys, too, in terms of next-gen Xbox. How do you guys feel about Microsoft allowing online multiplayer to be free on the system? The reason why I'm saying this is that it will be a really huge and exciting PR move. I don't think power is going to really cause people to move to next-gen, really, due to the 4K consoles that we have now. So I think services will really push next-gen, and I think removing online play for the next Xbox would definitely be big. It will cause more people to move to Xbox. And also, when you look at Game Pass, it will definitely increase Game Pass subscribers, and Game Pass for a whole year is $120, while as Xbox Live for 1 year is $60. So the people you might lose from Xbox Live may come over to Game Pass, and all you need is half the same number of users that Xbox Live currently has to make the same amount of money. Since again, Game Pass is $120 a year, while Xbox Live is $60. So again, I feel pretty mixed about it, 50-50. I could see Microsoft doing it, and at the same time, I'm going to see Microsoft just saying, "Hey, why should we lose out on all this money that we could be making by doing it?" I guess it just depends on how much they care about console sales for next generation and how much they care about PR. All right, that's all I have to say. Congratulations on passing 800 episodes, and I'll talk to you guys later. All right.
Thank you very much for your voicemail. Appreciate it. Where do we start off?
That's a great voicemail too. But thanks, by the way, for sending the voicemail.
Yeah, thank you. Where do we want to start off? Do we want to break it off into segments? Like, do we want to go with the backwards compatible and then go to the services portion of it?
Well, let's answer the first one about
backwards compatibility.
Yeah, because he said that Xbox might, like, the sales are going to be better here because of it, but outside of the States, PlayStation is going to sell more than Xbox. And in that part, I do actually agree with that, man. Because look, when I went to the Dominican Republic, man, and also this is the same thing with other Latin America countries, PlayStation is, I think, except maybe Mexico, but everyone else is PlayStation. But going over there, everybody was talking about just PlayStation. Nobody was even mentioning Xbox. They didn't even mention about online and other games. It was strictly about just the brand PlayStation. And that's the thing I was trying to say the other day, is that no matter what happens with PlayStation, they're gonna have their hardcore following, especially like in other countries outside of the US, that they're gonna buy it just because of the name of the system, but PlayStation, the brand. They don't care about Xbox or Nintendo. There's fans that are into those consoles too, but PlayStation, the brand is just too powerful, man, in my opinion, man. That I don't see them flopping at all, man. At all.
All right. I don't know. I think backwards compatibility is going to cause a big stir once we start moving out of this generation, simply because, especially if Microsoft continues to be able to push Games Pass as a rock solid service for its consumers. I still disagree with the Nintendo bully move of, we're going to force you to keep buying new versions of it for your devices as we go and not provide you some form of backwards compatibility. I think Nintendo, that might be them stuck in a previous era, and I think they're missing out in a sense, simply because consumers, I think at this point, I think from a consumer's perspective, they might be getting frustrated, just because. Why should Nintendo get the pass to forcing their consumers to continue to rebuy their titles as opposed to giving them the ability to do backwards compatibility?
You know why, Pete? Because numbers doesn't lie. It sells like crazy. So if it's selling, Nintendo's going to keep on doing it. We could complain, we could say all we want, but there's always going to be people either outside of the store waiting in line to buy a Nintendo Classic or Super Nintendo Classic or any other future devices coming from Nintendo. It sells. No matter what, it sells.
Doesn't make it right.
So, yeah, it doesn't make it right, but if we really want to make a change, then don't buy it and be vocal, right? But no matter what, it sells. It's the same thing with Call of Duty. People months ago were complaining, oh, it doesn't have a single player, it's not going to sell. No. Dude, this was one of the best-selling Call of Duties in a very long time. So we could complain all we want, but it still sells. You know what I'm saying? So companies know what they're doing, because if they release something and it's not selling, that's when Nintendo will be like, oh, well, this is not working. We got to add it in Nintendo Switch and maybe the online service so people could sign up and buy our system. But it sells, man. You know? Paris, you want to say anything about...
I mean, we really talked about this a week ago, 2 weeks ago, so I don't want to just repeat everything that I said before, other than that I get what he's saying about, PlayStation is going to be very strong in Europe and Asia, and it always has been, so I don't see that changing regardless of what backwards compatibility looks like. But just what my point was a couple weeks ago, services and backwards compatibility will factor in the next generation, and I stand by my point that Nintendo can get away with doing what they're doing for everything that you just said. PlayStation going into the next gen cannot. They cannot say, hey, want to play all those great PS3 and PlayStation 4 games? Get PlayStation Now and give us more money for our crapping streaming service. They're not going to do that. People are going to look at what Microsoft is doing and go, well, why aren't you doing that? They're giving us all this for free for all their old games, but you're not. Like literally all my 360, hell, even some original Xbox games, all the way up to Xbox One, will be playable on their next console. They've already made that known. So PlayStation has to do that. And I know the cell processor is a mofo, but at a minimum, all these great PS4 games, if I buy a PS5, I better be able to play them on the PS4 for free, or PS5 for free, and not have to pay for PlayStation Now or something like that. That's all I'm saying. That's all I've ever said. And like going to his point with the services, yep, like I said, we're witnessing it happen right now. Microsoft is gearing up all their services to be ready day and date whenever these new consoles come out, so that they can have this all-in-one bundle package, whatever they want to do. But Game Pass will be a factor going into the next generation, because it's going to be the ease of use thing. It's going to be the Netflix thing for gaming, where all our games, the new Halo's coming out, you already own it because you got Game Pass. And I know people have friggin' comment me on Twitter, I'm not getting it because I don't like this and I like that. That's fine, because guess what? It's a choice. No one's forcing you to do it. Some people will want to do it. Some people won't want to do it. But the fact remains, it will be an option, and it will be something that people will want to take advantage of. Why not?
And now the part that he says Xbox Live for free. What are the chances of that?
In this sense, again, if we go to the whole bundle package thing, and we've talked about this before, you bundle Game Pass, whatever their cloud streaming thing is, and Xbox Live into one thing, and you sell it as an all-in-one package, all-you-can-eat package, and you basically give a discount on if you buy them separately. That's going to appeal to some people. But I think for the people that aren't interested in Game Pass, that aren't interested in the cloud service, you're still going to have, well, if you want to play online the traditional way, you can still go buy Xbox Live Gold for $60. I don't think that is going to go away, but I think it could go away in the sense of, if you commit to our subscription services, we'll give it to you for free. That's what I think is going to happen.
Danny Secrets, man. I don't know. I mentioned something like that, but you guys shut me down. But it's all right. I never get props. It's
what are
okay.
you talking about? When? You don't say something random out like that. I said it and you shot me down. When? Please elaborate on that.
I said
Receipts.
I said Xbox Live for free, and everybody was shutting me down. But it's all right. It's okay. I don't get no love.
Well, okay. Now I know what you're saying, and that, yeah, you're not getting that. I literally just said they're not going to just here you go, everyone for free. Either you subscribe to something else and they give it to you for free, or you're going to still pay for it.
Right.
So
give
no,
it
I
to
don't
me.
give
Give
you.
it to
I
you at
don't
a
give
discount or something like that. But they're not just going to hand out of their biggest money making service for free, just to appease your harebrained schemes. You're like the smoking man in X-Files.
Exactly. and you know what? Speaking of that, I love how he throw out on Twitter the other day. Well, Paris had a crazy theory about they're going to give away The Last of Us for free.
You did. I have it on audio.
Yeah, I do. And you agreed.
That's a crazy conspiracy.
And you agreed with me.
I did? I didn't remember that. I didn't remember that.
Go pull the audio. Go pull it. Go pull the audio.
That part I didn't remember.
Yeah.
Really? Yes. I
Yes.
said yes?
Yes.
What was it?
The only person that says I was crazy, because she always says I'm crazy, is Mandy.
Yeah, she did say that.
Yeah.
But she said that to you. Everything that you say.
Everything I say is crazy. So.
Now, why you mentioned that? What was the theory that The Last of Us people that were there at the crowd was going to get The Last of Us for free?
Because something with I can't remember exactly.
I think it was the date. Was it the date? And it was E3.
Yeah,
hype it up.
Yeah, something crazy like that.
Yeah. We're all crazy. Pete, you're crazy too, Pete. Everybody's crazy.
I know. We all crazy. We're all loco.
We're all crazy. Yeah. We have a second voicemail or email. You guys want to read?
Yeah, we'll do more voicemails. We ran through a bunch of emails, so we'll just do some voicemails for the listeners. Here we go.
Yeah.
Hello guys at Gamertag Radio, Tom from the United Kingdom here, and I have a question in related to game streaming. The first one is, has any of you tried out the GeForce Now beta? I've just tried it and I'm blown away. I think the latency on it is amazing. And my second question is, if this is going to be the future, how are these companies able to afford the infrastructure? I mean, when it gets going and they come out of betas and all that, I just don't understand how they're going to keep up with, supplying these virtual machines, and I can't see them making a profit on it. Okay, cheers, bye.
Thanks, Tom. Appreciate that. Short and sweet, love it. How do they do it? Similar to the way Xbox does it now. Like you'll see like periodic, you don't see them, quote unquote, because they're in the background, but they sell areas in a form of advertising, right? Other than that, they make their money on other services or other back-end components. So, like the live stuff, obviously that helps offset a lot of stuff. They've been doing that for so many years now. It's, it just makes a lot of money for them. So there's not as much investment into that as there are for other things. And that's probably the best way to do it, in my opinion. I mean, you see YouTube, they offer all of those videos for free on the platform. They can offer premium services to help offset some of those things, giving the consumer an opportunity to, you'll get, for example, YouTube. You can get YouTube Red. You bypass all the ads. Content creators still get a cut of it, even though subscribers or pay premium YouTube consumers aren't seeing the ads as a regular, as opposed to how regular consumers would watch it. So that's how they would do that, right? They would just offset little minor costs like that by, I wouldn't say forcing you or shoving you, but redirecting you towards other premium services. So that's how and that's how they're doing it with Game Pass. That's how they're doing it with Xbox Live on the Microsoft side.
Yeah, what are the chances of us seeing like that from Sony and Nintendo, Pete?
I don't know if we would see that from Nintendo. We've seen that they march to their own drum. They're not in a platform or a service war with Sony or Microsoft. They don't need to be. They look at the Switch. It's a total departure from what Microsoft and Sony did with their platforms, right? They spent better part of 2.5 years fighting over the teraflop turf war, right? Switch came out and said, we don't care about that. Here's the Switch. And we saw how that turned out, right?
Well, so, the thing is, so the reason why I'm bringing that up, Pete, is if you live in Japan, they already have a couple games that you could play on the Switch, but as a streaming game. So, for example, Assassin's Creed Odyssey is available in Japan for the Switch. I know the last Resident Evil that came out, you could also play that on the Switch, but you have to pay for the service for the game streaming. So the reason why I bring that up is what are the chances of us seeing that here in the States from Nintendo, but for other games? That's why I brought it up.
I think Japan also has the infrastructure to be able to support something like that. The average consumer has 1 to 2 gig internet speed at home in those target areas, whereas here in the United States, it's anywhere from 10 to 20 megabits all the way up to maybe 100 to 200 megabits per second. So without making this too technical, I think the infrastructure to support it in Japan is a lot better suited for that as opposed to here in the States, which is why you don't see it here.
Okay. Pat, you want to say anything about that or move on?
No, we can move on.
Okay. Pete, next voicemail.
Hey guys, this is Joshua calling you from Georgia, and I just finished playing Halo Wars 2. I just now finished playing it because when it first came out, it didn't get a whole lot of attention, and probably for good reason. Like most people, I'm assuming, based off the attention it got. Real-time strategy games aren't really my thing, but the story was very good. You can look up the cutscenes online, and just the story was very well done, which made me think, like, this game would have been a lot more fun to play if it weren't this game, if that makes sense. If they took the storytelling elements and they took the lore that they set up and all the conflicts they set up and all that beautiful stuff, but they coupled it with maybe the classic first-person shooter or some other type of more exciting gameplay options. So that had me thinking, like, I've read some of the books, and there's a lot of good material to work with there, and it surprises me that 343 has gone the direction that they have with the story. And I'm okay with the direction they've gone. It's just been surprising, considering how much material they already have to work with. So I was wondering, are there any other games that you guys feel did some element of it so well that you felt like it was a missed opportunity when they could have maybe tweaked a couple things here and there or changed other dynamics about the game and the game would have been completely different in terms of quality and the attention that it received? I just want to hear you guys' opinion on it.
All right. Thank you for your voicemail. Appreciate it. Always appreciate it when our community sends in questions for us. I mean, I'm right there with him with the Halo universe. There's so much history. I'm looking at 4 books right now. One of them was already potentially done, but like Contact Harvest, Ghost of Onyx, the Cole Protocol, books like that have so much information and lore from the Halo universe that it absolutely could have been used, whether it have been by Bungie or 343 now. So they definitely have opportunity. As far as maybe a more developmental or a technical thing, I would say Battlefront, the Battlefront series from EA. They had the entire Star Wars universe at their hands, at their fingertips to use. And because of a few things, microtransactions, things of that nature, they missed out huge to the point of, basically almost lost the franchise in general. I mean, we'll see what Respawn does now with their title and stuff like that. But I think those two in general, for me personally, are the biggest ones that stand out.
I think I will go with Timefall 2, man. That has the story in that was so good. But I feel like a lot of people didn't really either play it or they didn't even bother to buy the game, man. But it had a great story, and also the gameplay was like different, I think, from like the first person shooter style. I really enjoyed it, man. So I'll go with that, man, with Titanfall 2, I think, man. You know, and yeah, P, I agree with Battlefront. That's up there too, man. You know, you Paris?
Am I misunderstanding the question? Because I thought he was saying, because you're saying it wasn't if people bought the game or not. It was basically a title or an IP going a certain direction and missing out on a great opportunity, not if people bought it.
Mm-hmm.
So you said Titanfall 2.
Yeah, I mean, didn't it flop though, that game?
But that's irrelevant. That doesn't matter if it flopped or not. It was a lost opportunity and direction. Yeah, right. What was it missing and going in direction?
I gotta think, man.
Yeah, this was a real tough one.
You come back and I have it. I have me. It's Mass Effect. Easily. After 2, I feel like they completely dropped the ball on the direction of where I thought they were going to go with this franchise. And look, 3 is what it is. It changed the ending, whatever. But then obviously we saw what happened with Andromeda. And forget the graphical issues, it flopped and all that. That's not what I'm talking about. The fact that they took the direction of going the Andromeda route, I was disappointed in. I was hoping to see either a complete prequel that led up to where we got with the with the original trilogy, or they continued in that universe post what happened, instead of them, we're going to go find a new home and go to the Andromeda system, blah, blah, blah. I didn't want that for Mass Effect, me personally. So I thought that was a lost opportunity for them. But hey, it is what it is. Hopefully Mass Effect comes back and they reorganize this whole thing and they get that IP back to where it is. Cause I mean, that to me is such a lost opportunity with what happened with that franchise. And I do think it factored in with Andromeda flopping beyond all the bugs and the issues and everything else that it had.
How about this game, Dead Space 3, the last one?
That's another one.
That's another, right? Because the first 2 games was very dark, great story. I really got into it, but I feel like the third one, they went to that too, but they went to the route of like action, Gears of War-ish, right? And they completely messed up the game. And it had a great story like the previous games.
Well, what's scary? We're listing all EA games.
I know. I was waiting for Danny to finish before I said that. I was like, wow, there seems to be a common theme here.
I have another one. I have another one because you just said it and it reminded me because we actually talked about this before. Gears of War. Go back to the original Gears of War and what that was, a kind of a survival horror game. That was the vibe they were going for with the original Gears of War, and they completely shifted that. Gears of War, starting with Gears of War 2 to where we are today. It's completely different than the original vision of what they were trying to sell us on back in 2006. And I was all in for it. I was all for what they were going for with Gears of War originally. And like you said, they kind of changed more into, it became more character focused, and it got a little, the story was never the greatest thing anyways, but it got away from that survival horror thing and became more of an action adventure type of third-person shooter game, which fine. I'm fine with the franchise, but I think that was a lost opportunity for them to really separate themselves and go off into a genre that not a lot of people explore.
Yeah, as it went on, it kind of felt like a 4-person buddy cop.
Yep.
Like 4-person buddy cop movie similarly, I guess you could say. I don't know if there was a direct correlation, but like you see games like Uncharted and stuff like that, but it was just like a 4-person Uncharted set in space with aliens at that point.
Another game too that it was a huge flop and very disappointing. Resident Evil 6. That one, I don't know what happened. They turned into that like an action-packed game. It wasn't even horror at all. It wasn't scary, nothing. That was a pretty bad game too, man. Really good, a really bad game. So yeah, I'll go with that. Let's read one more voicemail. Let's read one more email, Pete, for Paris, and then we could wrap it up. I think we're like in the almost a 60-minute mark, but you guys want to pick each one at least or no?
Wait, what are you talking about? I thought we were
email
voicemail.
I'll read one. I'll read one here.
I don't have any emails.
All right.
I'll read it. I got you.
Oh, because I thought they were all old, so I deleted them. I was like,
Nah. Some of them were like, it seemed like very current. So I'm like, oh, let me read.
No worries.
So.
I'll read it. I got this one.
Yeah.
All right. Hi, Danny, Paris, and Pete. A few days ago, my father passed away. In June 2017, he was diagnosed with cancer, non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. He fought hard to beat it, but ultimately died in much pain as his body broke down slowly but surely. I sat beside him always from beginning to the end. He was 65 years young. I'm telling you this because, believe it or not, your podcast has helped me through this time. After a hard day with Dad, I would often smile at one of Danny's crazy predictions or laugh at Paris's grumpy 44-year-old man from Florida reactions to Danny's craziness, and Pete seemingly either in the middle or laughing in the background. I guess I just want to say thank you. Danny, you posted your condolences on my Twitter feed. That meant a lot to me. You don't follow me on Twitter, so it shows you really do care about your community. I love you guys and support you forever and always. One day I will meet you and thank you in person. That is one of my goals in life. That's how much you all mean to me. Thank you. Mark from Adelaide, South Australia.
Yeah, man. Yeah, sorry for your loss, Mark. Mark, I know in the past he sent us like voicemails, like, oh, excited, listen to our podcast from Australia and stuff. So yeah, I actually, Mark, I do follow on Twitter. I saw your tweet that you were talking about your father and everything, and that's when I'm like, oh, let me reach out and hit him up, because I think it's important, man. Sometimes in situations like that, we will feel like lonely, not getting support from anyone, and that's why I decided to hit you up, man, to say hi, and then I'm there with you, man. The past few years, I lost a lot of my family members, especially like my grandparents. Back to back in 1 year, I lost two of my grandmothers in 1 year, man. And when I left to the Dominican Republic, because I haven't been there in a very long time, I was there, I was there with my family and all, and I was getting messages from our community, from the GTR listeners from everywhere, hitting me up, friends from the industry hitting me up, just reaching out to see if I was okay, and it felt good, man, seeing that, getting that support from everybody, and also P in Paris. Dude, they were there 24/7, man, hitting me up to see if everything is okay, telling me, hey, Dan, don't worry about the podcast. Do what you got to do, man. We got this. And I love getting that support. So when I read your tweet, I wanted to reach out and also see how you were doing, man. And I still, to this day, I still hit him up to see how he's doing and everything, man. But thanks a lot for the email, man.
100% agree, and it's all about community and reaching out and just being kind and nice to your fellow man and female. All right, so to your fellow man and woman. So that's basically it. Our condolences, to you and your family for the loss of your father. Cancer sucks. It's a mother bleeper. I lost my mom. I lost my grandfather to cancer, so I definitely know how you feel, and if there's anything we can do to help out, just let us know.
Agreed. I mean, my mother has been, I don't know if I've really even talked about this on the podcast, but my mother's been battling cancer all this year as well, so it's been an interesting year, and knock on wood, she's had her last chemo, so she's actually going to be out here in a month, so looking forward to that. And condolences to you and your family. Totally get it. Obviously, any of our ramblings on this podcast that can help you get through your day, the more we can do to help, the better. So, yeah, I mean, it's not much else other to say other than that. And just, cancer's a mofo, man. It really is.
Yeah, and you know what? I know in the past we've gotten emails of new listeners that starting to download the podcast, and they don't have no friends online. They probably don't use Twitter or Facebook, and they always say will ask like, how can I start getting my friends on my friend list so I could play online, because I don't have any. And in person, I think, in my opinion, I think the best way to start is joining like a Discord on our Discord channel. Because there's a lot of people there, man, from everywhere, from all the way from Australia, from Europe, here in the States, Latin America. We always talk, man, about everything: sports, movies, gaming. We do like game nights, together. So we could be there for each other, man. So you won't feel lonely. So I know we have a link that you guys want to join. It's discord.gg/GTR. Make sure to join, and there's a lot of community members there, man, that listen to the show too, man. But we always talk about everything there, man. So it's really cool, man. So you won't feel alone, man. All right. Anything else, guys?
No, I think that's about it.
I think we've covered that.
All right. By the way, Paris, I read your tweet. When was it? Maybe was it a day or so, or 2 days ago? So
here we
Luke Cage got canceled, right, on Netflix, and you said, "I think I'm gonna say a story about Luke Cage and Halo." I was like, okay, I don't know how he's gonna do it, but you want to mention it before we wrap it up?
Do you love how
Every
Danny
time
will take something I said on Twitter? Don't ask me before the show, hey, are you going to do this? I'll bring it up. Nope, just on the spot, just bring it up. You know what?
Mentioned it.
You know,
You mentioned
so,
it.
so what? What if I don't? What if I don't want to tell it now? What if you just put me on the spot now? I got to tell it. This is why you're an a-hole. I just want to put that out there for the record.
No, I'm not.
So, and I've said the story before on the podcast. So go back. This is Halo when Halo 5 was coming out. So whatever year that was, I guess it was 2015 or whatever. I went to, they were premiering that Halo, what was it, Nightfall? Is that what it was called? The movie?
Yeah, I think it was Nightfall. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was that, and it was the Halo 5 beta. They were showing off. And it was this event in LA. So I went. I was Josh Holmes was his name, but he was the studio head at the time. I had an interview with him, had it all set up. So I'm sitting there waiting in the back to interview him. And the cast of Nightfall was there. So Michael Coulter, Luke Cage, all those people from the cast, they're being interviewed like on stage. So I'm just literally sitting right off stage watching them being interviewed. And Kiki Wolfkill is there from 343. She's kind of, I don't know if she was like PR handler, I don't know what she was, but she was kind of right there off to the side too. And something happened during the interview and some water spilled. And Luke Cage turned into the biggest diva I have ever seen. I mean, he's like, oh my God, freaking out, and was just making a scene out of the whole thing. And I'm just looking like, wow, unbelievable. Because this is before he was cast as Luke Cage anything. He was just the Halo guy. And I was like, wow, he's really intense about this water being spilled. Why is he tripping on this? And to this day, it cracks me up when I think about it. I looked at Kiki Wolfkill. She looked at me and she rolled her eyes so hard we went back to Halo 2. I was just like, good Lord. It was just the most hilarious thing ever. So no matter what, when I see this guy, I always think of that every time. I'm like, I remember you was a freaking diva about that water. It's just, I can't get it out of my head, and I can't get the fact that Kiki Wolfkill rolled her eyes, and it's just hilarious. So that's the story.
Even when you watch the series, you still think about that too?
Oh yeah, and then when he did that stupid dab in season 2, I was like, yes, this is what you get with that freaking.
This show's gonna get canceled.
The video short.
Yeah.
This show's gonna get canceled. Yeah.
I was going to bring this up in the after show, but since we're talking, we'll wrap it up and say here, it sucks that Luke Cage got canceled along with Iron Fist, but I also get why. And this is my personal opinion, so I'm not saying it is what it is. It's just what I think. Iron Fist was horrible. So I didn't even waste my time watching season 2. I had no interest in it. It just wasn't a character in this Marvel Netflix universe that I just cared about. So I never even watched season 2. Luke Cage, I watched season 1, I watched season 2. And in my opinion, between the 2 seasons, only the first half of season 1 was good because it focused on Cottonmouth, who I thought was a fantastic villain. And once that went away, I won't spoil everything that happens, but once they stopped focusing on Cottonmouth, it really was kind of a subpar. Luke, in my opinion, Luke Cage. I could never connect with the Diamondback villain. I felt he was very step and fetch it to me, so I just could not get into that as a black man. And when I got into season 2, the whole Bushmaster with the horrible Irish Jamaican accents, I couldn't get past that either. So I liked where it ended. I liked where it was gonna potentially go with a season 3, and I would have liked to seen that explored. But the fact that it's going away, I'm actually okay with. It's not hurting my feelings that they canceled Luke Cage.
You think Jessica Jones is going to follow suit?
I could imagine. We'll see with season 3. I've not finished season 2 of Jessica Jones. I got episode 4 and it was just way too slow for me and boring. I just did not finish it up. I can see me going back and revisiting it before season 3 comes out, just so I'm up to date on everything that's going on. But if season 3 isn't strong for Jessica Jones, I got a feeling that probably goes away too, and Netflix just stands behind Daredevil and the Punisher. Because I think Daredevil is easily the flagship, not only of the Marvel stuff they do on Netflix, but Netflix period. It's some of the best stuff they do on Netflix, so I easily can see Daredevil staying around. And I really enjoyed season 1 of the Punisher, so I'll be curious to see what season 2 looks like.
Have they even said anything about the Defenders? I mean, I know it was crappy,
not.
but
it's not.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, wow. That's not looking good. Do you think they're gonna take that and take it to Disney streaming service?
Okay, can I say this one too? It's because look, good Lord, Twitter just blew up with this. Everyone immediately, well, they're just going to take Iron Fist and Luke Cage to Disney, and somehow I became the representative for Netflix because people add me at this. I was like, what? I don't control anything. Why are you telling me? But here's the thing. Netflix still controls those characters. So there is a scenario where Luke Cage or Iron Fist could show up in Daredevil or the Punisher, whatever, Jessica Jones, whatever they want to do. That could still happen because they do own those characters, not own, but they still control those characters because of the contracts that were signed. Now, here is the interesting thing. Netflix basically has a first right of refusal if they wanted to do, let's say, Heroes for Hire with Iron Fist and Luke Cage. But that is part of the reason why Luke Cage got canceled. It has to be negotiated with Marvel and Disney on episode length, budget, all that stuff. And it sounds like the reason Luke Cage got canceled, the writing room was set. They were working on season 3, but it got canceled because Marvel and Netflix could not agree on episode number and just basically budget and creative direction of what they were going to do. Because it sounds like Netflix wanted to reduce it to 10 episodes, the same as what Iron Fist season 2 was. But and again, I'm just going by what I read in Deadline says, but it sounds like Disney still wanted to charge Netflix, excuse me, for the full 13. So it came down to money, is what it really came down to. So there is a scenario where Heroes for Hire could happen. I doubt it for everything that I just said. But then I'll also say this. Marvel does not want me talking about this. Sorry. Why and I'm going to try and simplify this. Why are you going to take what are arguably 2 of Netflix's lower rated IPs and then flagship them on your brand new Disney streaming service? That doesn't make sense. Marvel controls so many other characters. Why would they immediately, and I'm not talking down the road, I'm talking people acting like this is going to happen next year. Would you immediately greenlight Luke Cage and Iron Fist to be shows on your new streaming service when you own the X-Men now? You could do X-Men shows. I mean, there's all kind of things you could do in the Marvel universe.
Why take the lowest performing ones and put them as your premiering episodes?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Agreed.
If anything, they'll wait until this whole Netflix contract runs out, like when Daredevil and all that stuff is done, when they just have complete control of all those characters again, and then you go reboot it all and do something. Not to mention, let's remember, this Disney streaming service will not have mature content on it. People keep forgetting that as well. If you look at what they do on Netflix with the MCU, it's very mature content. They're not, so you not only would you be bringing it over there, you'd be dumbing it down, and people already have an expectation for what Luke Cage and Iron Fist are, and you're going to dumb it down not dumb it down, but you're going to lower the mature content to like basically a PG-13 level to put it on Disney. That could also be, so again, why would you do that? You're not going to do that right now. It doesn't make sense. You would put those characters on ice and you would just reboot the whole thing when you have 100% control of that whole Defenders universe. In my opinion, because I don't know nothing. I'm just telling you what I say. So you can be, you know who you are.
You can be
mad at me.
Vicious 696.
Exactly. You can be mad. I can't believe why people get so mad at me about my opinion on stuff. It just drives me crazy.
That's your side job, right? Netflix?
Yeah. Oh, I wish.
Netflix showrunner.
Yeah. All right, head over to Gamertag Radio. Listen to our past episodes. You could also find us in different podcast directories. Make sure to download it, subscribe, and share with your friends, family. Let them know to also subscribe to Gamertag Radio. All right, so P is out of town. He's going to TwitchCon later this week.
Yep.
I know you have a panel. When is the panel, Pete? So people could check it out on Twitch.
Panel will be Saturday at 3 p.m. local.
Yeah, so that's 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So make sure to tune in to Twitch. I'm going to try my best to record it, or Pete is also going to record it from over there. And we'll play it here on the podcast, man. So it's going to be good. It's going to be good. Yeah. All right. Until next time. We're out. Peace. Cool. That was good, man. All fan mail. So keep it up. Why they were saying, Pete, that the link was expired?
I have no idea.
Discord.
I don't know. It shouldn't be.
Yeah, it's a legit link. That's weird. That's weird. Very weird. Hey, Paris, how's your Lakers, man? I haven't been keeping up to date on what's going on with them.
Bows, bro.
They've been doing
We were
good.
talking about that earlier.
He is like on and off. I don't know. Last night they lost by like a point. I think it was. I think their first game was like that too against the Magic. So.
No, Lakers are 0-2. There was a brawl at the end of the Rockets game last night with Chris Paul and Ingram and Rajon Rondo.
Why?
Yeah.
Why they were fighting?
Because Ingram pushed Harden, got a technical, and then Rondo and Paul got into it. Paul put his finger in Rondo's face, and then he swung on him and stuck him. Chris Paul says that Rondo spit in on him. So I don't know. And then Ingram came in and just, got a sucker punch in, and then he got thrown out. So they all got thrown at the end. Yeah.
That sucks.
And
Yo,
LeBron,
Paris. Oh, go for it.
No, I was just gonna say, and Lakers had a shot to win the game at the end, but LeBron honestly wasn't that good down the stretch.
I have a question for you, Paris, about WWE, and I'm just curious to see what you have to say about this. So, the whole situation.
Let me say this. I don't watch it anymore.
Oh, you don't? Okay. But I still wanted to ask you.
I've not watched it in weeks.
Because I know you hit me up like, yo, they're going to Saudi Arabia for their event, and Brock Lesnar's going to be there, Undertaker, and all that. And the situation's been going on. The journalist that got killed over there in Saudi Arabia. Now, UFC and other companies canceled their events and business trips to go over there. WWE hasn't said a word about it. They're going to keep on. They're going to go and continue with the show over there. I know lately I've been watching their shows on Monday Night Raw and SmackDown. They only will mention the name of the pay-per-view event, but they will never mention the location where they're going. First, too, that there's a lot of wrestlers that are kind of nervous to go over there. In that situation, because I know you said that they made more money, or they're going to make more money than a WrestleMania pay-per-view. Do you think they're going to keep on going and then continue with the show over there, or should they just cancel it? Like, what do you think Vince and all these people are going to do, man, at WWE, man? Because they're like in a tough spot, I think, right now.
I don't think they're in a tough spot at all. I think they're going to just keep doing what they're doing, and people are going to keep watching. Look, that's money. Those are checks that are cashed. They're making money. So unless WWE, because remember, WWE does not care about ratings anymore. All they care about is subscriptions to their thing and the TV deals that they get, with these other things. So dude, they're not. Why would they? Vince don't care. He don't care. This is temporary outrage. That's all it is. That's how they're looking at it. Long term, are we going to be talking about this the next Saudi event next year? Probably not. They don't care. You know they don't care.
Yeah, that's true. Just really curious. Just want to know what you think about it. So,
I'll say this. I think a lot of people love to talk about a lot of things that they don't understand, but you know, it's that mob mentality of let's just pile on. And they do that kind of stuff. We see it all the time on social media. People will pile on things that they have a quarter of the information about because it's trending. And then they will pile on a person and shame this and shame that. And look, I'm not saying obviously the Saudi Arabia thing is a horrible thing, but I'm just saying from the WWE standpoint, they just see people talking right now. Talk. They're going to do the event. They're going to get paid. And then guess what? All those same people that are outraged right now, they're going to be there for the next pay-per-view event too. And the one after that, and the one after that, and on and on and on. And then they'll go to Saudi Arabia again, get paid again. And those same people will be watching it again.
Yeah.
That's just how it works.
And it's what, a 10-year contract? Right?
Something crazy like that. Yeah.
Crazy, man. Yeah, that's how Vince and Triple H, Stephanie, that's how they're making money now, going outside of the United States and having events there. Like I know recently was Australia. They were there. I bet they made a lot of money with that, and just transmit like live from there to the WWE network, and that's it. They don't even need pay-per-view anymore, man. Just strictly for the app.
That's my point. You're not walking away from $40 million, allegedly.
40 million
for this one show. Dude, this is business, man. They're not walking away from that. They are not walking away unless a wrestler actually gets killed. They are not walking away from that. No way.
Damn. Wow, that's crazy. I didn't know it was 40. I thought it was 40 million for 10 years. But you said it's only for one. Damn.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're gonna put more profit in their pocket. 40 million for this event. That's more than they make on a WrestleMania.
Yeah. So basically, having it on the network is a bonus for them.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Wow. Yeah. Woo. Crazy.
I don't know. That's why I want to go live out of the country. Tired of
Get down.
I'm dead serious. You know I'm dead serious too.
Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah, you know I'm dead freaking serious. The whole thing's annoying.
Broncos listening to trade offers for Demaryius Thomas. I wasn't ready for that this morning.
What time is it? Yeah, I have a honey-do list I have to do today. Plenty of yard work. Is somebody, not me, decided to pop a sprinkler, so I have to replace the sprinkler, and I have to lay new sod, and I have to trim our palm trees. So I have a fun Sunday, and I got a pack.
No raiding today? Because usually you're like getting ready to bug out because you got a raid.
No, I would be. I actually had to turn it down. We literally were because I'm seeing the messages, but I had to tell them yesterday, nope, because I got too much stuff to do this morning. Which I did complete. I don't think I talked about that. I did complete last week the raid. It's
you did?
It's really good. It's really good. To me it plays off as kind of the best hits, the greatest hits of the Destiny raids. Every encounter reminds me of a previous encounter, from another raid. It's enjoyable. I like that when you do take down Riven, that's not the end. To actually get the loot from the raid and complete it, there's a whole other section you have to do at the end. That was pretty fun to me. I really enjoyed that. Nice little twist on it. So it'll be curious to see what they do for the raid layers for this moving forward. I guess since I'm talking about Destiny 2, I'll just say this real quick and I'll shut up. Destiny 2 is in a really good spot right now, just as far as content goes, because like I said, I've completed the raid and there's still a ton of stuff I've not done, in that game, and I'm probably not going to be able to do for a while because, like I said, I feel like I need to kind of take a semi break from it so I can play some other things. Like I said, Thronebreaker comes out tomorrow, Tuesday. So when I come back from Secrets, I'm gonna jump into that.
Man, they should have released that game for like Switch, right? That thing would have been perfect for that.
What?
That game, Thronebreaker.
It's PC only until December.
Oh, and then it'll come out. What?
Then it'll be on. Not Switch, PS4 and Xbox. It definitely can't be I don't think it's a graphical limitation. I'm pretty sure the Switch could play it, so I don't know why it's not coming on the Switch. That's actually a good question for CD Projekt Red. Why it's not?
Are you getting a review copy, or are you actually buying one?
I requested one. It's still pending. I haven't seen it be approved yet.
Okay. Yeah, I watched the trailer a couple of days ago. It looks good, man. It looks interesting.
Yeah.
Even if you're not into that game, it's really good.
No, it's right up my alley. I'm definitely looking forward to playing that. Just the whole RPG aspect of it, and then your actual combat, in a nutshell, being Gwent. I think it's interesting. So, looking forward to it.
Cool, man. Anything else, Pete?
Nah, I'm chilling. I'm just chilling here, dude. Just chilling. It's Sunday. Try and watch some football.
Yeah, I know there was an early game from London.
Yeah, San Diego.
Yeah, Chargers and wait, who is it? Not the Dolphins? Is it the Dolphins?
No, Dolphins no.
No,
Dolphins
not
that won.
Titans.
Titans. There you go. Yeah.
So what? The Dodgers going to the World Series now? From last night, Dodgers.
Yeah, I watched. I was watching that live. It's good.
Yeah, that's dope.
Dodgers and Red Sox. It'd be good.
They're asking me, Danny, you download Red Dead Redemption 2 yet? Not yet.
No, remember,
I requested a review copy. I'm still working on it, so I'm not sure yet.
106,
I can wait.
106 gigs for the download?
Yep.
For Xbox, yep. 99 for PlayStation.
Big, huge difference, right? It's because of the X, right? It's not because of the regular console.
If you go on their support, it didn't differentiate. That's just what it said. It didn't say for Xbox X or PS4 Pro, so I don't know.
Oh.
All right, I'm out of here.
Yeah,
I got a ton of stuff.
All right.
So
give out some shout outs. Shout out to Chubby Wubby for the $20 donation. Said, hope to get you to TwitchCon, Pete. And yes, I will be there. Shout out to Chubby. Also dropped a tier 1 subscription. Shout out to Rivals of Waterdeep for hosting and the follow. Same for Tanya. Shout out to Steve994 for the tier 1 sub. And to NC454, who I thought was following us, but he's already following again. So
cool. Hey Pete, I need the library too.
Yep, I'll be doing that. I'll send that over.
Cool. Yeah. Guys, everyone, we're not 100% sure if we're gonna have a show on Wednesday. on Thursday. Hopefully, I'm gonna work on something. I don't know if not, then because there's a lot of things going on behind the scenes. So I'll keep you posted. But yeah, keep you posted. Or if not, if we do release an episode, we'll be like later on. Or something. I don't know. We'll see. So yeah, and that's it.
All right, we'll go ahead and put up the ending stream page, play some music for a minute, and then bounce out. Thanks everyone for stopping by and supporting the show. Thanks everyone. Peace out.